Hi, beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to your mid-August month 2025 reading. I'm sorry, I had to hesitate because I'm almost at the end. I've been doing a fair amount. I was delayed a bit, and that's why I'm doing the mid-readings. I don't normally do the mid-readings, but I'm Marianne, and this is Marianne's Mystic Mentions, and I appreciate you being here very much. And we're going to get right to your reading, because there's a definite format that I like to do. If you're new, welcome, especially because the more the merrier. You're all welcome, and I love like-minded people that want to be a part of my channel and the messages that come through. I'm a very long time intuitive psychic, tarot reader, divinations of many different forms, and then I do always start my readings with this chakra check. So the chakra check, and there's huge amounts of discussion about energy in all different forms as well with me. Energy of color, everything we touch, everything you see is energy based. So I think it's really important that we recognize that and utilize that gift that we have to pick up on different energy, connections. And that's not exactly the word I want, but for some reason, well, one reason is because Mercury went direct. Yay! It was retrograde. Oh, there's my beautiful cat. Eclipse in the corner. He likes to be a little bit of a ham bone. I hope you won't mind. I'm sure you don't, Aquarians. I have an Aquarius sister. She loves animals more than people. And I can fully understand that sometimes. But we're all animals and we're all in this together. But I digress. So, no, I love to start with the recognition of what specific chakra that spirit would like you to be aware of for the month, because I deal with the 8 chakras. Okay, there are many more, but from the base all the way through up to the 8th chakra, which is the all connected, we're all in this together, omnipresent chakra. And the last one was the sacral chakra for the beautiful sign of Capricorn. And so I'm going to just push this behind my back, do a little shuffling. And by the way, the gloves, my latest brand from my other videos from 5 years ago when you could see my whole face and everything. I was just starting. Are all about energy as well. They're about color energy, but color is related and correlated with the chakras. So it's just something I wanted to try, and I've gotten a few different feelings about it. But yeah, I love color, and they do make you feel a certain way. They have that definite energy behind them and vibration. But so yeah, this is I don't normally do mid-months, but I've had a new schedule and I'm acclimating to it, and I thought, well, do I wait till September? And the answer was no, because there's not a whole lot that's changed from the beginning of August through now. I'm actually reading these on the 17th, Sunday the 17th, so just a little past a midway point, but certainly doable. And yes, so we are in Leo season still, which is very fiery and fun, and it's very sociable and flared. It's just very generous and fun and heart-based, passionate energy. I love this time of year. I really always have. I have a fire moon. I have 3 planets in fire. So that kind of attracts anybody out there listening that's an Aquarius. You may have fire in your chart. You are the complete oppositional sign to Leo. So there's always going to be this kind of vibrational connection between you as well. And you, in fact, and Leo will start the next series of eclipses next year. Specifically you, Aquarius, in February. So, but we'll get all back to that. I like to kind of make things as simple as possible for those that aren't aware of exactly what I'm speaking, but I do like to simplify it so that if you are and you become one of those seekers like I was from a while ago, but then just kept listening and kind of absorbing and picking up and reading and this and that, and it all makes sense, and it's all really, I find it just incredibly amazing and fascinating and very, very accurate. So now I pull this out. Oh, you have the same as Capricorn. And that's interesting. Well, you're right next to each other on the zodiac wheel, but it's the throat chakra, the need to speak And you know something? The heart is the color green. That's what I came up with. I was feeling there's this very strong, heart-centered energy and feeling that's coming forth from you, Aquarius. And it's not to say it isn't always there, and it's not to say all the other signs, you know, I wasn't feeling or I didn't think they had heart or anything like that. It's simply that this is a focus that I felt when I was doing my meditation, when I tune into each sign about you. So it's heart. It's very understandable with the next set of eclipses happening like as of September 7th in Pisces, the water sign, the most compassionate, loving, you know, selfless sign, and creative and everything, and many, very spiritual, very of other worlds type of energy, you know. So heart-based centered feeling came for me for the heart chakra, and then spirit is talking about your throat. So maybe you want to speak something that you feel so very, very strongly in your heart about, okay, because they're right next to each other, just one chakra apart. And I love that. And maybe you want to do that speech you haven't felt comfortable doing, or maybe you want to write a book. It doesn't have to be actual verbal out loud. But let's see. Now, the words behind this beautiful chakra, and the reason I love reading this and checking in for the month with every single sign every month, is because it has what I call a mantra, and it's such a great way to focus on that chakra area and also to open it up completely and free it from any kind of resistance or blockages that may be occurring. Sometimes you know of and sometimes you don't. It says the fifth chakra, which is the number 5, is about change. So there's a change in your ability to say the things you want to say. Maybe you're feeling bolder and stronger. Maybe you're feeling just the opposite, where you want to maybe not be so outwardly expressive. There could be a variance of, it's a general reading. The uniqueness of my voice is spirit made manifest. I courageously speak my truth with balance and grace. As Lord Buddha said, neither jagged criticism nor flowery praise will keep me from my path. I hold to my wisdom with humble elegance. I feel warm and, you know, kind of safe in hearing these words. And I think it can really help to, like I said, ensure that you're utilizing the heart chakra and every chakra really, but in your circumstance for this month, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, excuse me. And feeling that confidence in what it is you need to say. So I don't know, I as I said, I have a sister that's an Aquarius, and I know a fair amount of Aquarians, and I find you to be very, very capable of, you know, confidence. And even if it isn't really fully that way, you're doing a great job of making me see it as that. So anyway, in addition to that, I like to add the correlating crystal, and it just happens to be on. Where'd it go? Well, that's interesting. Oh, maybe I just changed it. You know what? I might be incorrect about that. You may be, it wasn't Capricorn, it was Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius that had the throat chakra. Anyway, the words associated with the throat chakra are truth, purpose, and voice. It was Sagittarius because the emphasis of truth was happening for Sagittarius. And so the actual crystal is lapis lazuli. I gently speak my truth and release all fears around judgment. That expression, that need to just speak your truth and have that confidence behind it. It's a heartfelt, absolute, passionate need at this time for you. Let me get the actual lapis lazuli out and replace it back again in one of these necklaces. And what I do is I wear it so I can infuse the reading with the same energies that come from these beautiful crystals. Look at this. It's a gorgeous crystal. And you know, all the crystals, it happens so often, forgive me. The gloves make them a little slippery. All of the crystals that I show and demonstrate, this is just one example of so many. So, but it does give you an idea of what their potency and what their, you know, magical powers, if you will, are. And it's good to know. So I like to inform you and my clients, my viewers. I'm a massage therapist, so they're my clients, you're my viewers. And yeah, just to hold strong with these. And then you can always charge them on a full moon or a new moon and a little bit of water set on a windowsill or put outside. I'm never without them. I mean, if I am, and it happens on occasion, obviously everything's going to be okay, but I just prefer that extra source and, energy that these can provide. And they come from the earth. It's such a beautiful part of life. And I love to focus on the beautiful things in life. And so, yes, let us go on then with this beautiful aspiration of, being able to speak clearly and concisely for you during this reading, with the help of Spirit and my spirit guides and animals and all the wonderful helpers that are always there for us. I'll set that right there for now. And I'm actually going to be doing a 6-card spread for you, Aquarius, and it's going to be past, present, and future with clarifications on each card, finishing with an oracle message. And I have shuffled the deck, but I'm being asked to shuffle just a little bit more. Oh, well, that's okay. That's the first time I've had a jumper the whole month. We're going to put that there for your past. And remember, past is anything prior to this reading. Nothing definitive, not, X amount of time or days. It's not how, in my opinion, spirituality works, and it's not linear like man-made time. But that will be placed right there, and then we're going to do the present position and the clarification. It feels thick. I feel like I have 2. I do. And then, last but not least, the future and the clarification. All right. So, yes. Wonderful reading so far, and I honestly hope you're doing well. So, yes. Mercury went direct. We had 3 other planets, one being Pluto in your sign, Aquarius. This is such an important time. When it's in retrograde, it's always, the planets in retrogrades really mean this need to go within versus reaching out and pushing forward towards something. That happens when all of the planets then go back into forward motion. And even when they station, though, they do take some time to build up the momentum that they originally had. Now, Mercury in retrograde, it's one of the things we have happen in our lifetime, like 3 to sometimes 4 times a year. And the extent of it, from shadow period prior to it happening, the actual event, and then shadow period afterwards, is about 6 weeks. And I think the most notable reactions and effects from it happen right when the shadow periods, certainly for me, start, and then the first days before, the day of, and a couple of days after, and then the last as well. But in between, we kind of acclimate. We know we've been on this merry-go-round before. It's about transportation, communication. See, it's still kind of working itself through there as I trip on my words. And then technology. Those things are mostly activated by the planet Mercury, and it is the fastest moving planet. So it takes some time to build back up, but not too long. It's a personal planet. It's closer to us. And it changes position much quicker than the outer planets that are also in retrograde right now. Your past message from this beautiful Cat Tarot deck for you, Aquarians, for 2025, mid-month, is the Page of Pentacles. All right, so first of all, Pentacles represent the earth elements. And that could be Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. And the pages are messengers, okay? But they are youthful messengers. And they are also the very first start, like the green aspect of something, the very beginning. You're still in infancy stages, if you will. Also, it is a lot of times a child, perhaps, in your midst, or one you're thinking about having in your life, or you're actually with child. So all of those things can actually be a part of the reasoning and understanding of this message. But also, I always like to add the thing that of all the messages, there's so many for each card, and the new ones that come down through my, intuitive self. And it's just to make sure that you are still in touch with your inner child. That you are allowing yourself to have fun, that you are allowing yourself to remember no matter what chronological age we are and how many birthdays we have and all that, because it is a number and our body's changing this and so forth, we are still all children in some ways, you know, like it's so fun to laugh no matter what age you are. It's so fun to find fun and joy in even the simplest of things and never to let go of that. Because it can be, life can be overwhelming, and as we get older, we tend to take on more responsibilities, of course, but don't let go of that child. And in fact, encourage it by watching something that makes you laugh purposefully, right? Hanging around the people that you know bring you that levity in your life. It's so neat, and it's so healing to laugh. It's been proven. I mean, it really works the core and the stomach muscles and so forth. So very, very healing. But with that, and the page and the message, and like I said, perhaps a child, perhaps just somebody you met that seems maybe a little immature even, but useful, and you're like, oh, that's cool. I can appreciate that. Clarifying that, we have the devil. Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is so cute. I feel like there's another one. I have not seen this in so long, and I've had this deck about 4 years, and I bring it out, every couple months. Is it me going crazy with this? No. It's the dog. It's a cat deck, and the devil is the dog. Now listen, this is a perfect example. Something different than us that makes us, fearful and thinking, oh my gosh, I need to worry, I need to be upset. I mean, so much of that isn't true, but it's a major arcana that represents Capricorn. And also just this kind of restrictive energy, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is known as the planet of restriction and structure, and not so much fun, a little bit more serious than the next planet, but the dog. Now I've seen so many cats and dogs that get along. So I don't know, something about this page and information, or something about the feeling like, well, maybe I shouldn't be acting like I'm having a good time, or I'm useful in any way, because then they'll think I'm too silly, and all that sort of things. It's addiction sometimes. Maybe you're around somebody who you care deeply about, and they're younger than you, and you're afraid that they might be abusing themselves. I mean, that's all part of a scenario that I'm picking up on right now. But I do want to say that the devil is like so many things. It's our beliefs. It's what we allow to have happen to us. It's the worries about things we really have no answers to. And then also just knowing, okay, if you're not feeling a certain way, because I'm all about feeling and that energy thing again, if you don't feel right with somebody, or you just pick up on this energy that just doesn't feel comfortable, I don't need to hang around that. That's toxic. I need to remove myself from that situation. So that's also possibly what's been happening prior to this reading, and prior to, your recent past even, or however long. But let's see what as we continue, what the present energy has to say. And it is the Knight of Wands, so it is another messenger. But this one makes more sense. It's so prevalent and so current because we are in Leo season, and that's a fire sign. And it is about, just activating that part of you that's spirited and excited and wanting to create and to move forward and to allow change and transformation in your life. The Knight is, they're very proud, they want to get their mission done. And the Knight of Wands is actually the fastest knight. Well, no, I take that back. It's a toss-up, but the Knight of Swords tend to be even faster because mind and words and so forth. But the Knight of Wands is about fun and excitement and adventure. And yeah, spirited, getting the things done. Wands and fire representing Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. There are 2 planets right now as well in retrograde that are Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries. And that just happened this year. And then it's going to go dip back into Pisces, where it was for a short time to the end of the year. And then next year, we're going to have Neptune stay in Aries for 14 years and Saturn for another, I don't know, year and a half or so. It usually is 2, maybe even 2. It's a 2.5 year stay total. So just thought I'd put that out there too, for some reason, for some of you. But the Knight of Wands, excitement, information, you know, something about, you know, maybe a job opportunity, or, you know, a new adventure you're thinking of doing, traveling enters into a lot of fire signs. And the confirmation or clarification of that is the sun. And that's definitely fire, because obviously it's the brightest star in the galaxy, but it's also the card that represents Leo, the season that we're in, but not for much longer. But it's joy and it's happiness and it's energy that just makes you want to smile from ear to ear. And it's that useful part too. It doesn't show here, but in the Rider-Waite-Smith, there's a child on a horse, and it's just like that child, like, once again, dreaming, believing, you know, allowing unlimited possibility and manifestations of just anything you could put forth. Eclipses can really, really bring information about many things, and relevant to the sign that they are. The eclipses that have been happening for over a year now and happen in pairs, last about 18 months, have been North Node, head of the dragon, in Pisces, and then South Node, tail of the dragon, things we want to release, things we want to let go of, things we want to purge and remove ourselves from, in the sign of Virgo. And so we're in Leo season now, but we do turn into Virgo season on the 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you're located. And then there's this beautiful new moon in Virgo too, Aquarius. So we had the full moon in your sign on the 9th of August. Man, packed a wallop. I enjoyed some of it, and there was a couple of really, being as your Uranus ruled more modernly, your Saturn ruled too, like Capricorn. So there's that understandable kind of connection with you, being right next to you on the zodiac wheel as well. But just this Saturn aspect, but also the Uranus, which this Aquarius moon was connected to in some ways. And yeah, unexpected things, for better or worse. And that's something you're kind of used to your whole life, Aquarius. But this beautiful new feeling of like liberties coming through, and excitement, and then when Virgo season comes and the new moon happens and you write down those intentions, it's about really kind of getting things more structured. That's what Virgo is. That's a huge archetype. There's planning and structure, and you know, you've had fun and you've done your summer thing, and now school's back in session and people are going back to universities and teachers and so forth. So yeah, putting, you know, crossing your T's, dotting your I's, crossing your I's. You can cross your I's too. Oh my gosh, it's getting late. But no, you get the idea. And so absolutely love this. Whatever this message is from the night, which is fiery and exciting, is really going to benefit you. And you're going to feel very, very excited and happy about it. So then in your future position, we have, oh my, let me double check. I had a cataract surgery too, 2.5 weeks ago. It's doing great, but what is this? 9 of Swords. Oh, no, 4 of Swords. What am I doing? It's a V and an I. I know Roman numerals. 4 of Swords. Okay. There's been a lot going on apparently with you, Aquarius, and mentally, physically, and otherwise, and that heart has been very, very full. And the 4 of Swords is time to relax. Maybe you got that little tickle in your throat. Maybe you got allergies. Apparently it's a bad time of the year. I find myself sneezing a little bit myself, thinking, uh-oh. And I just started a new job at a school, and so I'm going to be very, very aware and careful about allowing the supplements in my body to help with that immune, right? And help build resistance. But the 4 of Swords is just that. It's putting down, you know, there's usually a depiction of 3 swords on a wall, one next to the person laying in a bed, like ready for action, ready for that. As a air sign yourself, that is what the swords are, Aquarius. It's about the mind and the battle of words and the thoughts and the overthinking and everything, and just allowing yourself to stop and say, no, I'm going to take that deep breath. I'm going to rest. I'm going to give myself some downtime. I'm not going to overthink anymore. And when I start to, I'm going to just do anything I can to allow that to pass. Like take that walk and, you know, and call that friend, read that book. Many, many ways to just kind of slow down the mind process, which can be overwhelming, especially for air signs. So in connection with that and clarification, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Wow, you have a lot of messengers. So we've got one about the Pentacles, which is the Page, the beginning, maybe putting aside for somebody new in the family to come through or to help in some way with somebody you want to babysit or whatever the case may be there too. You've got the Knight. So the Knight is like, yeah, how may I help you with your earthly needs? The slowest moving Knight, but the one that lasts the longest with what they bring and the messages they give and the sustenance necessary in this earthly plane, as we are in a 3D world, or it's becoming in 5D, but you know, bottom line, things we can touch, feel, see, and use our senses with, is really coming through for you. It's really being brought to your attention, and it's one of those things, I think, going back to your heart chakra and then the throat chakra, is that you want to really sit and listen to your heart. You know, our minds tell us a lot, and the throat chakra and the speaking is about, once you've listened to your heart, then you will feel the confidence and the compellingness to express yourself, you know, because we all deserve to be heard, and you are no exception. I hope that a little or more or any of this is resonating, and you know exactly what I mean. And remember, in this present moment, you got that sense, so that's one of the best possible energies and cards you could pull, and that makes me happy for you. I'm going to finish now with your oracle message from this beautiful deck called the Starseed Oracle. And I'm going to just pull one, but I'm going to read from the book because it says some very, very beautiful things that surpass my ability and capabilities at this moment. And for you, you have drawn, forge, don't follow. Well, that's so you. I mean, you are known to be the humanitarian sign. The water bearer aspect doesn't make you a water sign. It means you want to share your information with the world, like at large. It's not like little, maybe you and me. You're thinking the globe. How can we help this world? How we can make it more fair? How can we have everybody fed, and so on and so forth? So you are a leader. Absolutely, Aquarius. Pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. Look at this beautiful card. And the woman just facing it all, and the luxury and the abundance that's available for all of us. It's always been unlimited. So our thoughts can think otherwise, but that's all it is. It's just an illusion in our mind that there's limitation. And I'm learning that more and more, and that's also an energy. Everything is. So let me read to you, if I may, then. And by the way, thank you so much for your time. We're getting to the time frame I've been wanting to have these last, and I just appreciate your support so much. I really would love and appreciate if you did like what you're hearing today to like and subscribe for me, because that will help me grow my channel. And I've been doing it for a while, and I'm patient. It's really not fully about that, but without you and this community, it can't happen, obviously. So I would love any kind of support you want to give in that realm, and it's free. So I'm not charging anything for a subscription, or there isn't anything you have to worry about in that regard. It's just a loving gesture, and I would appreciate it if you feel so inclined. So forge, don't follow. Come on now. There aren't many F's in here. I know there aren't, so we're going to get to it. Here it is. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath. Not enough can be said about deep breaths. And put one foot in front of the other and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before. That's why I love the fact that as a fellow air sign, Pluto will be in your sign, Aquarius, for 20 years. And it's just beginning. It's innovative. It's leader. It's recognizing our strengths. It's working with others. It's power. It's beautiful. This is a card for leaders, yes. To go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all of those who feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on a topic you feel present, oh, here it is. This is the reason you got the blue and the throat. It all ties in, and it's always very synchronistic. Yeah, if there's no one speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. Okay, there you go. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your own path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for your younger you. Do it for the leaders who follow when you go first. You make it easier for others. You follow their lead. Forge, don't follow. No, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I love about doing readings, is there have been very beautiful readings for every sign, but none are the same, and they never will be. And I always do recommend that you watch your sun, moon, ascendant or rising, and your Venus. I would even say Mercury, because it is about our communication. But, then that you just get that much more layers of who you really are, Aquarius, and you're amazing. I thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great remainder of August. I'd love to see you back in September. Until then, take good care. Bye for now.